Thank you very much, conference. So I just want to pay tribute, and also it's a great honour to be up here because our late great General Secretary Bob Crow helped set up this conference, and it's good to see it flourishing so much. So thank you very much for having me. I'm the RMT Industrial Relations Rep for Fleet Maintenance, along with others, and also the RMT London Transport Regional Council President. So I'm going to touch on a few things as we just got back from our annual general meeting from the RMT, and we've just reaffirmed a few more policies and a few more campaigns that we've been touching on. And those three main policies are outsourcing and the fight against it, action against assaults, and fighting against the far right. So we've reaffirmed our position against outsourcing. But I just want people to have a look at the previous 2 years of a Labour government and what's actually happened, because we were told that it was going to be the biggest wave of insourcing in a generation, and we've literally had absolutely nothing so far. So we've got to have a serious think and a look at how do we deal with this as trade unionists, and what do we do with our industrial leverage and political power within our workplaces. And at our conference and at our AGM, this was one of the discussions about how we actually improve this. Is it through the branch structures? Is it through our regional councils? Is it through working with other trade unions to look at what we're going to do industrially? And to be honest, it's a bit of everything. With Keir Starmer on the way out and a new Prime Minister likely to be Andy Burnham on the way in, we cannot allow an inch of space for Andy Burnham to not make the right decision. As our previous speaker mentioned, I believe some of the cabinet ministers are going to be lobbying for the outsourcing of more contracts, and I believe Andy Burnham was directly involved previously in a lot of outsourcing contracts. Does that mean that we will make sure on continuation of the outsourcing? No, but we need to use our political leverage and also our industrial leverage. As an industrial trade unionist in the RMT, we look at our branch and regional councils as a way to discuss how we use our industrial leverage in the workplace, and that has to be practical. So when we go into industrial disputes, we need to start looking at building membership density in our outsourced workers, and I'll be honest, I'm going to look at directly within London Underground. I've got my regional organiser there today, and he's very much aware that we aren't as strong as we should be within our cleaning grades, but we are extremely strong within our grades that are all in source. So what we need to do is up the ante. We need to have a look at our campaigns, and then we need to use our industrial leverage when we need to do it at the right time. So that's outsourcing. Action against assaults. As many of you are probably aware, we've launched a campaign in the RMT on action against assaults, and sadly, along with other trade unions in the transport industry as well, we have actually had deaths, and that includes Unite with the bus driver recently as well. It's an extremely awful place to be on the front line within the railway and in the bus networks at the moment, and we need to do something as a trade union. So we looked at industrial capacity on this as a campaign, and we're also looking at the political ramifications as well. And again, it seems to be the Labour Party is not doing enough to protect our people on the shop floor and on the front line. So we need to put the pressure up. And this is the sort of conference that we need to look at and speak together after about what are we going to do as trade unionists here in the room. And lastly, on the campaign side of things, fighting against the far right. The Labour Party has been decimated in the local council elections in May. And I believe that is mostly to do with the pandering towards the far right and reform. You cannot out-racist the reform or other far-right groups. The Labour Party was set up by trade unions, for trade unionists and for the working class. We cannot allow parties to be pandering towards the far right, and they are not socialist parties if they are doing so. So again, as trade unionists in the room today, we need to be looking at what is going to be our tactic in the streets and in the workplace to fight the far right, because we see more and more politicians just pandering towards their ideas. We're also seeing pro-war politicians, thank you, comrade, within our political parties across the spectrum completely. And workers should not pay for war. The fiscal policies of Keir Starmer seem to be, we just build loads of weapons and sell them off, and that is going to be a good fiscal economy moving forward. That is not how this works. If you build more railway infrastructure, you have a direct improvement in the local and general economy up and down the country. You have a green economy. That is what makes sense. If you invest in our NHS, we're in a crumbling NHS, you have less people out sick in work. You have more people in secure work. That makes sense. If you end the racketeering of multinational companies stealing money from workers on the outsourced scourge, that makes sense. These are simple economic policies that we need to be looking for and pushing for as trade unionists and as socialists. So thank you very much for having me speak here, and I'll be here for the rest of the day for the conference. It's great to see so many of you here as well. Thank you very much.